the absurdity and unpredictability of fate. At this moment, nothing is revealed. You never know whether your current downfall will be a disaster or a life-saving redemption. Time passed to 1958, when a nationwide wave of steelmaking swept across the country. Every household handed over their ironware, carrying the shadow puppet's fragrance that carried half a lifetime of memories for Fugu. It is also on the verge of being melted away. In a critical moment, the intelligent and perceptive Jiajun has found traces in his heart. He had Fugi take shadow puppets to the steel-making site to perform opera for the laborers, boost morale relying on this only use. This fragrance accompanied her wandering shadow puppet, which only managed to survive by chance. In this noisy era, everyone is on edge, and the young Yu Qing is naturally. Fengxia, who was both pure and dissatisfied with her classmates bullying Shiyu, became furious. He would invert the scalding chili noodles onto his classmate's head. In that era where you could easily be accused of destruction, in an era of collective guilt, having endured countless hardships and fully aware of the harsh times, Fugui was instantly terrified. He didn't have time to ask the reason. The long-suppressed fear erupted completely. Without giving her a chance to explain the pain, she hit her young son. Fugi's rage was never harsh, but an extreme fear, a lifetime of ups and downs. Let him fully understand that dignity, right or wrong, or grievances, are worthless. Living peacefully and avoiding trouble is the only deep path for ordinary people. At night, Jiajun, feeling sorry for the child, quietly encouraged Yu Qing, taking advantage of Fugui's stage to perform. During the tea deliveries, spicy chili peppers were filled with vinegar. Fugu, who was performing on stage, took a gulp and instantly became embarrassed by the spiciness. The father and son laughed and played, chasing and chasing. Playful reconciliation, this whole light-hearted and humorous daily life. It is the rarest warmth of everyday life in the entire film about suffering. But it is also the most heart-wrenching tenderness, because everyone knows that after Gigi's sweetness, it is a catastrophic tragedy. Days of all-night, steel-making labor, leaving everyone physically and mentally exhausted. Just then, the district chief came to inspect the school. Even though the child was already so tired, his eyelids were fighting, exhausted to the extreme. Believes in universal participation. Unwilling to fall behind, Fugi still forcibly pulls back their sleeping friendship. On the way to school carrying him, Fugi chattered, sketching a stable and happy future and hoping for a happy life. May your children be safe, and may every year be peaceful and full of affection.
If we listen to Dad, our lives will only get better and better. Look, our family now just has a little chick raised and turned into a goose. When geese grow bigger, they become sheep. When raised even bigger, they become cattle. After the cow, it becomes communism. Just eat dumplings every day. Eat meat every day.
This passage is gentle and passionate. Hiding a father. All the favoritism and hope became the final conversation between father and son. Warmth. At this point, cruelty is frozen in place, followed closely behind. Just a few words mark a lifelong farewell. On that pitch-black night, an unexpected event struck. Exhausted from traveling, the exhausted district chief lost control while reversing. It crashed into the school courtyard wall. Yu Qing, sleeping beneath the wall, was buried by the heavily collapsing wall. Forever stayed on that night. When Fugui trembled, lifting the white cloth, seeing her son's bloodied face, the pain piling up in half his body, completely collapsing, heart-wrenching cries piercing through the night. The pain pierces the heart. But fate's cruel tricks go far beyond that. When the district chief who caused the accident rushed over, apologizing, Fugui was caught off guard, discovered. The man who took his son's life turned out to be someone who had depended on him during the chaos of war.
Brother Chengsheng, who survived countless deaths. You are the one who went.
My son was killed by you in a collision, so I only have one son.
Chengsheng, I have only one son. You know I only have one son, but you got hit and killed. What kind of car are you driving?
This scene is the most suffocating and heart-wrenching blow in the entire film. Many years ago, Chengsheng said he could drive a car. Willing to die ultimately became a cruel prophecy that was fully realized. He got his dream of driving the car he had always dreamed of, but ended up crushing his close friend with his own hands. The only hope ended a child's pure life. Time flows on, and turmoil continues. In the blink of an eye, it was the 1960s. A magnificent and a special era swept through. This time, no longer are those who are lucky enough to be defined as old objects. Shadow puppetry has completely become a relic of the times. Fugi looked at the gentle and sensible Fengxia, feeling utterly reluctant to part. But all he could do was watch helplessly, as the shadow puppets accompanying him half-heartedly. He threw them all into the brazier, turning into ashes filling the sky, belonging to his wandering in the martial world. The tender wish of self-healing, completely vanished into thin air. After life was full of devastation, it finally quietly offered a touch of tenderness. The mayor, with goodwill, acts as a matchmaker for Shiyu's Fengxia. It introduced the honest workers. Wan Erxi, although Erxi had slight disabilities in his legs and feet, yet his character is upright, simple and honest, diligent and hardworking, full of heart. Treat Fengxia sincerely. He led the neighbors to personally renovate Fugi's dilapidated courtyard. He tidied up the humble home and made it look brand new, with everyone present. He held a grand and dignified wedding for Fengxia, a suffering family that had been silent for many years. Finally, we welcomed the long-awaited fireworks and fulfillment. The family took a rare family photo and Fengxia successfully became pregnant. A brand new life seemed about to slowly arrive. But no one knew that a storm was coming. The vast world outside has long been turned upside down. Spring arises. He was labeled a capitalist roader. He was subjected to criticism. One late night, the utterly despondent Chen Sheng was in a sorry state. He knocked on the door of Fugi's house. He pulled out all his savings and bank book, desperately laying everything out. His wife had already committed suicide, and he himself had lost all hope for life. In front of him was the enemy who had killed his son. For years, Jia Zhen could never let go. She refused to forgive, but on the verge of collapse and desperate death, he still softened and opened the door, not giving him a cold look, nor did she kick someone when they were down. Watching Chen Sheng's lonely and desperate figure, it expresses the heaviest yet most compassionate comfort. Chen Sheng.
Remember, you still owe our family a life. You have to live well.
This line becomes the most powerful highlight of the entire film. In the darkest moments when humanity was on the verge of barrenness, Jia Zhen set aside her grief over losing her son, and in the most restrained tone, hidden is the deepest compassion and forgiveness. He no longer wants to see life fade away without reason, even if the other party had hurt their own family. This gentleness and vision never stem from compromise. It comes from the purest reverence for life itself. Life was just beginning to shine, and the whole family eagerly awaited the arrival of new life. Fengxia is about to give birth and is hospitalized, but the absurdity of the times is fully revealed at this moment. All the experienced veteran doctors in the hospital were turned into reactionaries. Academic authority, locked in a couch enduring countless hardships. The vast hospital was entirely controlled by a group of young Red Guards with no medical experience. To protect Fengxia and Erxi, he risked everything to protect Fengxia and Erxi. Then, under the pretext of the struggle session, Professor Wang from the obstetrics and gynecology department was quietly dragged out of the cattle shed for several days. The tormented old professor was already starving to the brink of death. Xinshan's Fugui quickly bought 7 steamed buns. Hungry, Professor Wang devoured everything he could. He handed over a large jar of clean water, hoping the old man could calm down. At first, everything went smoothly, and Fengxia safely gave birth to a baby boy, bringing a new life. It is supposed to be the best comfort in hardship, yet joyful. It passed in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, the delivery room arrived. Terrible news. Fengxia suddenly suffered massive bleeding. Blood gushed out relentlessly, facing the danger of losing control. A group of young student nurses panicked and helpless.
Completely powerless to save him! Why are you panicking? I'll figure out a way!
Our seniors, I haven't handled them before. I don't know how. Our seniors.
Everyone hurriedly turned to seek help from Professor Wang, but witnessed an utterly desperate scene. After days of hunger, the elderly man hugged the steamed buns and drank a large amount of water. His stomach swelled rapidly. He had difficulty breathing. He had already suffocated, fainting for a moment. The only doctor who could save lives had completely lost the ability to heal. Fugui and Jia Zhen were at a loss, unable to do anything. He could only watch helplessly as his daughter Fengxia, who had lived a life of misery, could only watch helplessly.
Subtitle volunteer Yunshin.
In the end, due to excessive blood loss, he collapsed forever on the cold hospital bed. This is the most ironic part of the entire story, the most suffocating tragedy. Fengxia never died in childbirth, but rather died from the ignorance, absurdity, and madness of that era. Professional doctors are trampled and imprisoned. A naive outsider controls the only lifeline between life and death. Hope was buried in just a few steamed buns and a jar of clear water. The director uses extreme black humor and biting humor. Reality silently accuses those who abandon common sense, trampling on the profession, turning black and white upside down in the mad years. The years slowly slip away. Life moves forward slowly amid both plainness and hidden pain. Fengxia's son, Mantu, slowly grew up. The ending of the adult film, Fugu, Jia Zhen, Erxi, and young Mantu, the whole family arrived at Fengxia and respectfully worshipped at Yuki's grave. On the way home, they bought a few chicks for Mantu, gently placing it into the place once filled with shadow puppets, empty boxes in old wooden boxes of the past. No more shadow puppetry, joys and sorrows, but filled with hope that arose in their hearts. Mantu asked the question Yu Qing had asked back then.
Master, when will the chicks grow up?
The chicks grew up quickly. And after they grew up...
When they grow up, the chickens become geese. When the goose grows up, it becomes a sheep. When it grows up, it becomes a cow.
From now on, awesome.
Mantu will grow up. I want to ride on the back of the ox.
Yes, Mantu rides on the ox's back. Mantu grows up and stops riding the ox.
Just take the train, or plain life gets better and better. Then,
cyclical and repeated, the years come and go. After half a lifetime of separations and reunions, Fukui tasted the hardships of the world. Finally, I understand that people live without seeking wealth or status. They do not seek favoritism from the times. The so-called better days never depend on the changes of the world. Fate's favor is hidden only in the stability of family companionship and safety. Living in everyday life is the best answer to fighting hardship. The ups and downs of life are unpredictable. Gatherings and partings are unpredictable. Go with the flow. No one's life is smooth sailing. Suffering is the norm of life. Life always has regrets. Fate always has its shortcomings. Farewell and loss are essential lessons in life. Looking at the entire film, Fukui's life, full of ups and downs, half a life of wandering, losing everything. In the end, only you and life remain, but this is living. Having everything isn't what makes it complete. Rather, even after enduring countless hardships, still love life. Even if life is full of incompleteness, still live bravely.